Before we start the video, I would just like to say that I'm going to be in Canada from September 13th to September 27th. So I don't know if I'm going to have Wi-Fi and if I'll be able to upload, but I will definitely be vlogging and probably filming some sit-down videos as well. And I'm actually going to be having a readathon while I'm there for those 2 weeks. It's just a readathon for me, but if any of you want to participate, feel free to. I'm just going to see how many books I can read in those 2 weeks, and I will be vlogging that experience, so I'll be able to share it with you. And that's it. Let's get on to the video. So today I have an August wrap-up for you guys. I read 4 books, 3 of which are novels, and 1 of which is kind of an autobiography. You'll see. The first book that I read is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I have an in-depth review of this on my channel. It was my last video, so you can go find that if you want to hear my complete thoughts. But I will say I gave this, or I would give this, 4 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. It was exactly what I needed at the moment that I was reading it because I was just getting out of a reading slump, and this just encouraged me to keep reading. And I would recommend it for people of all ages, really. There's nothing inappropriate in it, but it definitely relates if you're going through a big change in your life, if you're going off to college, if you're an introvert, if you have social anxiety. So it's better for certain people. I think it would be more relatable, but I think anybody can read this book and thoroughly enjoy it. The next book I have, which is the sort of autobiography, is Grace's Guide by Grace Helbig. Grace Helbig is a YouTuber, if you don't know, and this is her book about how to be an adult. It has recipes and ways to hang out by yourself. It has tips for throwing adult parties, all kinds of stuff. This book I would give probably 3 out of 5 stars. It was really good. It was really funny, but I'm only 17. I still live with my dad, and it just wasn't as relatable for me as it might be for a new adult. There were some things that I skipped over, some things that I just didn't find interesting, but overall, an easy read. I got through it within a few days, and I was really taking my time with it. And I would recommend it to, like I said, new adults, because I think they would get the most out of this. Next up I have The Last Boy and Girl in the World by Siobhan Vivian, I don't know. I tried to pronounce this in my vlog that I did like 2 videos ago, and I still don't know how to pronounce it. I should have probably looked that up before I started this video. Oh, whatever. This book is about a small town called Aberdeen, and the town is basically flooding, and the main character is in love with this boy, and they get together during this big catastrophe. So it's kind of like a natural disaster love story. If that could be a genre, that's what this would be. It was very enjoyable. I would give it probably 3.5 out of 5 stars because it wasn't the best book I've ever read, and there were some issues with the editing, at least in my edition. I don't know about other editions or if it's available as an ebook or something, but this one had quite a few grammatical errors as I was reading it, which was kind of disappointing because grammatical errors really, really annoy me, and I find it hard to concentrate on the story if the grammar is not correct. But otherwise, it was a great story, a great plot, really lovable characters, so I would recommend this to probably the young adult audience because the main character is like 17, maybe 16, I don't remember. But overall, a good read. And the final book I have to talk about is The Conference of the Birds by Peter Sís. Peter Sís is actually a Czech author, which is so cool because I'm Czech. So that was an interesting tidbit. I'm not sure if Peter Sís wrote this or just translated it. It says that he adapted this from a classic 12th century Persian poem. So I'm not sure if this is the original poem or just his adaptation of it. But this book is beautiful. It has so many illustrations. Let me show you. See, the pages are illustrated and they're textured. They have a really nice texture to them. It's kind of like paper that you would use for drawing, like for painting for watercolor, something like that. Really nice thick pages. And so that made it a really fun read for me. I started this a few days before the end of August, so I needed something kind of quick that I could get through in like one sitting, which I did. I will say though, I'm not sure what rating to give this book, because purely for the aesthetics, I would give it like 5 out of 5. I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful book. But for the actual poem, I'd give it, I don't know, I didn't spend a lot of time on it. I didn't really like analyze it and get to understand everything that the author was trying to say. So, I don't know, I really don't know what I would give this. But it was very enjoyable, and I got it at like a book warehouse. It was like 70% off, so it was totally worth it. And I would recommend this to people who like poetry and people who like things that have a lot of symbolism, because this poem definitely isn't one that's just like straight up in your face. The meaning is definitely very hidden, and I would like to return to this and actually sit down with it and have time to figure out what it's about. So there you have it. Those are all of the books that I read in August. I think it was a pretty good month considering I was just getting out of a reading slump. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you plan on reading any of them, or what you read in August, what you think I should read. I'm very open to suggestions, and I'd love to hear what you're reading. And I guess that's all for now. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope your week was great, and I will see you next time. Bye.